Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Ethereum, Solana and injective price prediction based on Elliott Wave analysis. We're going to start with Ethereum here, of course, on the 2 hours chart where we are still looking at our double 1-2. From there, we have a 1-2 and another big wave 1 here where we have, of course, an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 2 given hitting, of course, the 0.38 perfectly. Another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a second 1-2 here. And of course, the deep correction as an A, B, and a C. The wave C is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ending diagonal, as we can see, 5 waves, finishing up, of course, before hitting the 0.786 perfectly. And we start to get, of course, something to push for higher in 5 waves again in a leading diagonal, wave 1. And currently, this wave 2, which it has hit also perfectly our area, our testing area as 0.786. We saw, of course, a reaction from Ethereum there, which it can be an impulse. But of course, this wave 5 is a little bit a question mark there. And can be, of course, something still corrective for a deeper correction here. We're still finding some complexity, of course, in the crypto market. And yeah, but I believe that the things are still, of course, direction toward the upside in all manners. And that because, of course, of the large 1-2, and also we get 5 waves leading diagonal already, at least as a wave A. So I'm still expecting an ABC there. I'm still expecting a 1-to-1 fib level at least, which it might be hitting, of course, the 3,660 and around it. And of course, in case that this is a wave 1-2 there, but I doubt it again, because on the 15-minute chart, you can see clearly that this cannot be a kind of a wave 5 unless your impulse is done unfinished and finished over there, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And somehow this correction is a very complex correction again, of course, as a wave 2. But yeah, it's a very long one for wave 2 again, right? The time is very, very essential and very long here. So in case that this is a something anyway, very complex and corrective, which I still believe that it might push toward the upside, but I doubt that it's gonna push really high and higher than the 1-to-1 fib level. By all means, I'm still looking here at something corrective, and that, of course, due to this deep and complex structure that we see here as a correction. So basically, what I'm looking here also at Ethereum is very, very important signals for the bulls here. I see a lot of bullish signals, knowing that the pressure of selling is still there. It is in conversions, but also we have diversions for the bullish. And of course, yeah, that is a big, huge balance here between both bullish and bearish. But we can see something unfolding toward the upside right now. I believe that this signal can unfold, especially here that we have, of course, a wave 1, 2, and we're looking for higher. So as a leading diagonal potentially, and can unfold something for higher prices to continue as a potential ABC, or at least 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. What I know is that this is a clear leading diagonal. Now, this is definitely corrective, and nothing is impulsive. Nothing is can be considered even as diagonal there. I don't see zigzags. So this, if this is your wave 1, 2, and wave 3, 4, and a 5, the wave 5 is only one impulse. Yeah, so there is no zigzag for it, unless you have to take it as a zigzag there. But then your wave 3 is also only one impulse, which it meaning, of course, it means no diagonal there. It is definitely an ABC, finishing here, of course, as an ending diagonal. And you have an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there for wave A, no intersection with the wave 4. So that's a perfect zigzag, I would say. And that means, of course, since we have clear 5 waves up, clear 3 waves down, I'm still looking for higher. Now, what I'm expecting in case that we get an ABC, guys, so be careful from the triangles. Yeah, so if a consolidation will continue there for longer time, it can be a triangle, and of course we can push for lower. But however, in a triangle, you're still looking for higher prices a little bit in a wave D. But be careful from this scenario, of course, for Ethereum. Now, for Solana, if we take a look also at the 2 hours chart, we still, of course, in a potential leading diagonal here as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 1 there. and we have a very deep correction, but very complex one. It can be three waves for wave A, B, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish the wave C there. So basically, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 finished wave 3, 4, and a 5 can still be unfolding there, or it can be something much more complex, but we took the low anyway. And that means, of course, you took the low exactly at the 0.786 here, which is the last target for wave 2. And it is time to see some signal of strength, which we see some, right? We see something pushing for higher here on the 1 hour chart. But again, the long correction is horrible, right? It's a very complex one. Now, if it is, of course, to unfold something for higher, well, again, it can be the ABC, and in this case, we have to be careful again from a potential triangle that is start to unfold over there. Yeah, so ABC potentially here, and that means can be kind of like A, B, C, D, and an E again, and then pushing for lower again. Yeah, in this case, if this happens with Ethereum, well, you're gonna reach the 886, and by reaching the 886, of course, it decreased so much the possibility for this 1-2 there. Yeah, as a 1-2, preferably not to take the 886 at the 105, and better, of course, to push directly toward the upside in case you are bullish here. But yeah, we still, of course, looking for the signal of strength. I would like to see confirmation for higher by taking the 146 here. In case that this happens, well, can be a nice signal. And in case that you are in a bigger correction, kind of like an expanding flat AB and a C1 to 1 fib level, that would be great as well, at least, of course, as a recovery. But that doesn't mean that you are bullish yet. Of course, if we break this, then we start to be bullish from there. But until this price at the 156, 154, well, we cannot really call something bullish to there. But it can be something, of course, recovering as an ABC or as a triangle ABCDE here. But yeah, expect, of course, to push one more low, and it can be deeper. Yeah, so it can be something deeper than this low as well for Solana. Now for Solana also, if we take a look a little bit on the indicator, we can see as well on the 1 minute chart here, we can see still, of course, a convergence. Yeah, so with a bearish signal there, we have a convergence. We might see, of course, a pressure still. It's not like so much like Ethereum. The bulls signal were very clear, but for Solana here, we see a lot of pressure still for selling, so we gotta be careful with it. It might drop down at any time, guys. Yep, so this is regarding Solana, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see, guys, what's gonna happen. I don't see yet, of course, a very clear, strong signal to push for higher, but I'm expecting something as a recovery. This is what I mean, like whether a triangle or an ABC, and we push for lower potentially still for Solana. Yep, so this is regarding Ethereum and Solana. Now, if we take a look at Injective, for Injective, we are in this deep correction still. Of course, we're looking at an ABC here. And since your wave B is a zigzag, of course, you can expect something here to unfold as an A, B, C, D, and an E as well for Injective. And that means if this a finished zigzag there for the wave C, you might look for a wave D a little bit higher and then wave E in a triangle to finish up, of course, this correction. In case that you are in an impulse here, several 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, and a 5, that is a finished also impulse. You hit the blue box almost, and you would like to see, of course, a push toward the upside as a recovery. And that means, of course, if this is a single impulse, you can see a wave B and then a wave C again to finish, of course, a larger W, X, and a Y there. And your wave Y is a zigzag, meaning if you are in a W, an X, and a wave Y, and this is your impulse as a wave A, B, and a C zigzag for a wave Y. And that because of the timing is required anyway to finish up, of course, in balance for this area. And basically, if you are also in something impulsive here, by the way, you can be in a 1, 2, 3 here. The wave 4 can still be ranging. So by all means, this can be still extending to there. And you might still be looking at a wave 4 here, unfinished, which it is, of course, a triangle, A, B, C, D, and an E, and then pushing for one more low toward the downside. So basically, because of the lack of strength in the market, and I don't see any clear signal on the micro level as well, these are all noise and all, of course, confusion and hesitation patterns. And that means, of course, we still looking for a correction here, and it might still drop down sooner or later. So one more low is still very likely as well for injective there to reach our blue box, which is of course the target between the 3.7 and $4.1. Yep, so this is regarding Ethereum, Solana, and Injective. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.